So I know what you're thinking. You're wondering, why are you doing these crappy videos outside the gym, beside the road, where there's a whole bunch of traffic noise and there's like people walking by and you're all sweaty and you're somewhat out of breath because it's right after your workout and you're in your freaking tank top and you look like crap. Why are you doing these videos now? Well, and you know, I do have the ability to make better looking videos, but I want to answer that because there is a specific strategy that I am doing here. And it's not exactly for the sake, well, to get video views is nice, and to get, you know, get clients and get my name out there is helpful if it works for that. But the main reason that I'm doing this is purely for practice. I have set myself a rule that I will record at least 5 minutes of video every single day. And the point is to practice, not only practice recording video, but specifically to practice recording video without any kind of script. So I'm practicing the ability to free associate, to come up with ideas on the spot, right? So I came up with, this video, for example, my idea was, hey, I'm just gonna explain why I'm making all these weird videos lately. So if you're curious, that's why. But from there, I mean, the idea for the video is one sentence, right? I can say that in 5 seconds. So to be able to draw that out into a 5-minute video that hopefully is actually worth watching is a skill in itself. And I'm not sure that I've mastered that skill, by the way. I mean, you can tell me your opinion in the comments if you like, whether it's favorable or unfavorable, but the point is that the more you do something, the better you get at it. If you ever watched my original videos, like the first videos that I recorded, they were horrible. I mean, to be fair, the first videos I ever recorded, I never published at all because they were so embarrassing, and I've long since deleted. But even the first ones that I thought were at least tolerable enough that I could publish, if you go back and look at them, like go on my YouTube channel and watch the first video that I ever created, or the first couple videos I ever created. They're terrible. And most of those, if I remember correctly, were very well scripted. Sometimes I would have basically the whole video script in mind. Some of my videos are completely scripted. Some of them, I figured out a way to write out a script. I was doing a newsletter for a little while. I didn't do it for very long because I realized it was a ton of work for a very small amount of reward. But I was doing these long form weekly newsletters for a few months. And so those, I was turning them into YouTube videos. And what I would do is I would just read the entire script and create a YouTube video from that. And that was, like, that's nice because it's idiot proof. Like, I don't have to think about it. All I have to do is read the script. I don't have to have any kind of creativity, aside from writing the script, of course. But writing and recording video off the top of your head are very different skill sets, because writing, I mean, there's something in common, right? I mean, the idea of coming up with ideas is something in common, but the thing with writing is that you get as much time as you want to plan. So if I didn't say something exactly the way that I wanted to say it, I would go back and edit it. And if I wasn't sure what to say next, I could sit there and stare at the blank computer screen for 5 minutes before I wrote the next line. If I was to do that with video, and especially an unedited video, which is the point here, I'm not trying to like edit a bunch of stuff here. I'm trying to be able to do a solid video straight through without any edits, without any jump cuts, which is what I've done so far here. I mean, I could say now, I'm not gonna go back and edit it, but it's weird when you do edit videos to like say what you're gonna do, and then when you get to actually editing it, you're like, no, I wanna take this part out, but I just said that I'm not gonna do that, so now I'm stuck with it, right? I made the commitment, so now I'm not gonna edit. I probably wouldn't anyway, because editing turns it into a big job. And so that's a big part of the reason why I want to learn this skill. I want to learn to be able to do it off the top of my head, because what I did in the past was I had kind of an outline, and I would go through, either I would have the whole thing all written out, and then I could just read it off, and then I'd use this clever little app that it's called Descript, which actually is a super cool video editing software. But what it would do is it would let me, I could read a script and I could put a camera right beside the script, and I could look at the script which was just beside the camera, but that doesn't look quite right. So for example, and I have to get this when I'm recording on a phone like I am now, I tend to look at myself, which is, myself is right here and the camera is right here. So I have to look at the camera. I have to stop like looking at myself, because myself is the thing on the screen that's moving. So it takes some getting used to. But anyway, so I would edit it. There was this like AI tool that would move your eyeballs so it would make it look like you were looking at the camera, even though on the actual recording you weren't looking at the camera at all. So that's what I was doing for a little while. Before that, I'd write out an outline of what I wanted, like what I wanted to say in the video, and then I would record the video and I would say a line like 5 times and get it, like mess it up, and then I would say it over again, say it over again, say it over again, and then I would go back and edit it. And as you can imagine, that's kind of a pain. It takes a long time and it doesn't translate to a live setting. Right, if I'm giving a presentation over Zoom or in a room full of people, then, and if I make a mistake, I can't go back and edit it because it's live. So I really am, it's very important to me to have this skill of being able to communicate effectively real time without having to go back and edit stuff. So that's why I'm doing this. And the reason that I'm publishing them, because I don't have to publish them, and sometimes I don't. If I would just have a really off day and I'm like, wow, this video sucks, then I don't publish it. Or like half the time I'm just doing it on my phone, and I run out of memory on my phone, and I'm like, cut myself off mid-sentence, and I'm like, okay, I won't publish that. So, but the point is though, that I'm sharing some stuff that I think would be useful, right? I try to make every video as useful as I possibly can. Usually these are about things that I'm learning myself and that are improving my life in some way, and I think that could be useful to you as well. So that's what I'm doing here, and so the more content that I put out, the more people watch it, and as long as it's somewhat useful, even if the scene isn't good, and even if I don't look particularly good, and even if the audio isn't that good, if you're finding use out of it and it's making your life better, then that's going to build my relationship with you. And when it comes time that you might be interested in buying something that I have to sell, you're more likely to buy it. You're also more likely to share my stuff with friends. You're more likely to watch for longer, which sends the YouTube algorithm signals that, hey, this is good content. And just having a whole bunch of topics and just kind of doing one constantly increases my chance of having a hit rate. Because one of the biggest things to being successful or to have, let's say, a viral video, or not even necessarily viral, but a video that does well on YouTube or any other social media platform, is the topic. Like, the biggest thing is the topic. If you're talking about something that is very interesting to people and you convey it well in your title and in your thumbnail, then that video will do pretty well, even if the video isn't that good itself. And I don't know what topics are gonna pop off, right? There's some people that are like YouTube organic gurus that will do like intensive research and figure out exactly what's working on all these other channels and what the patterns are now and what's hot in the Twitter trends and all this, and like they do all this scientific research to figure out what topic is going to hit. But I don't do that. I would rather talk about the topics that I care about and that I find personally valuable and useful in my life, and then some of them are going to hit and some of them are not going to. So that's my strategy here. And you may have noticed, if you've been following me for a while, that my video, like my view count, has dropped through the floor. It's terrible. I may be shadow banned, I'm not sure. But I still do get a hit every once in a while. So that's my plan for now. The objective number 1 is just to get really, really good at this video thing. And I'm telling you all this, by the way, because you can do the same thing. I was the shyest little nerd you could imagine when I was young. And just the fact of recording myself on camera just like paralyzed me. It was so difficult. It was so difficult. And so here I am now. I'm not like the world's greatest speaker yet, but I've gotten a million times better than I was. And so if there's hope for me, being as useless as I was back then, chances are there's hope for you too. So I hope you found that helpful. If so, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you on the next one.